So we're starting off 2024 with the Feeling Lucky Challenge. I kind of like that as a start to a new year. Let's see what we got. So we've got the dungeon, find the loot and get out. I think all of these are find the loot challenges. Rosita is our star hero. She's great. I think that she's the best bruiser. I think she's got a very interesting skill, especially if you have a melee team. I'm bringing Glenn along because Lucky Dumpster, obviously, so good when you have these kinds of missions. Tyrese is just a badass. Let's see what is in store for us. Okay, it's quiet. Too quiet. Bruiser's starting charged, so that's kind of a good consideration. Okay, so first up, we've got a threat counter. Oh my gosh. And we have got walkers just appearing every turn as well. So this one's probably going to be tricky. It really is a case of that. Yeah, if you get lucky, this is going to be very easy. If you don't, you're going to find yourself with your back to the wall against a whole bundle of walkers. Well, we kind of did get lucky, so the obvious thing to do is to just get out of there. Looks like there's one more crate there, and you can see right from the off that you've got tanks and big crowds of walkers, so you're going to have to be able to deal with those things. For Rosita, I'm giving her the Lucerne Hammer, but the Riot Shield would probably be a good bet as well. I really think that Glenn might prove to be the MVP. Fighter Rosita's skill is going to work for him because he's a melee character. And just that ability to just search things and still have an action left. You can search a trunk or crate, whatever those things are, and you can still defend yourself. You start getting used to it, and you start to really miss it when your characters can't do that. Tyrese, obviously, he is actually a good bet for that particular mission. He can hurt those tanks. If he gets them in that debuff circle that he creates when he does a charge attack, they will get hurt. Doesn't matter how tough they are. Car boot sale, find the loot and get out. Again, we're going to see a lot of that. This is a really good chance to try out characters who are all about the hand-to-hand combat. If that's something that you don't tend to use, well, now's the time to give them a go. There are things that melee characters can do that ranged characters can't. Obviously, ranged characters just have that natural ability to just reach out and touch the walkers. But melee characters, lots of fun. Definitely some advantages to them. So this is a very close map. Everything's all sort of crunched up. That's kind of a good thing. It's kind of a bad thing as well. Don't have to advance too quickly, but then there is a threat counter. So on later difficulties, this is maybe going to get a little bit tricky. Good thing with Rosita is, of course, she's great for this challenge, actually. I hadn't really considered it. You can have half a movement after you strike the enemy. So, while she's not quite as skilled as our man here, Glenn, at being able to do multiple things per turn, you would be able to strike an enemy and then maybe kill it and then search something. So, yeah, she's definitely a good choice for leader for these particular mission types. So that's 2 missions with threat counters. Are they all going to have threat counters? Because obviously that changes what you might want to do. You might want to keep it quiet. You might want to have, if you got them, weapons that reduce that threat. Had tanks on the first mission, the dungeons. We had armoured walkers on car boot sale there. And there's no denying it, there is an element of luck. If you absolutely hit a brick wall with a mission, try it again, and next time the first 3 crates that you search might be the ones that you needed. Scattered, find the loot and get out. I think that's probably going to be the mission description for all of these. I think it is. I think this is trickier than last week's. I really do. The reason why Glenn is getting so many actions, by the way, is because he has Swift Strike on his weapon. Let's just go there for the moment. No rush. Oh, hello. So, yeah, another tank. All of a sudden, the mission's a lot easier if there's no walkers on the map. But that's not the only option. Don't forget, you've got a lot of things that can help you sneak by walkers. Huntsman Daryl can do it, sort of. Beta can do it properly. You have the support Walker Mike, and the Whisperer's Mask as well. You can throw flares. You can stun walkers with stun grenades. So, if you're maybe sort of struggling to clear the map, then just remember you don't have to. You have to search those trunks and you have to get out. Trunks, crates, whatever the term would be. They've all three of these missions have had threat counters, but of course melee teams are getting a big boost by having Fighter Rosita as the leader, so maybe you don't need to worry about that threat counter that much. Not until you get to much higher levels. Find the loot and get out. This time we've got tanks again. Yeah, I remember... Oh, I don't know why, but this mission seems to be particularly tricky. I remember there was just something about it. It's very close up. I think that's where you're sort of getting a bit of an advantage by being able to strike multiple targets at a time. So obviously I've given Rosita the Lucerne hammer, however it's pronounced. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. But weapons that hit multiple targets when they're all sort of squished up like this. And that's something else that you can do as well. So Glenn has Perseverance and Weaken, I think it is. Both skills that can potentially give you charge points when you strike an enemy. And you saw what happened there. I hit the tank, didn't kill it. But, because Rosita is the leader, you get multiple attacks even if you don't kill the target. But that initial hit gave me the charge point that I needed to be able to then subsequently make a charge attack. There's nothing saying that only your first attack can be a charge attack. You could hit something, not kill it. Hit something, not kill it. Have enough charge points to make your charge attack, then you can make the charge attack. So we've got some explosive walkers, something to consider if you are using ranged characters for this. And yeah, it's not necessarily a bad idea to make the most of that. You can risk it and clear this map really quite quickly by blowing up the explosive walkers. The problem is, of course, it makes loads and loads of noise. So you've got to ask yourself, like the map says, how lucky do you feel? Do you reckon that you could just clear this map by blowing up the explosive walkers and getting out of there before the threat counter hits 0 and you have a whole load more walkers? Or do you want to take it all nice and quiet and have some patience? Oh my gosh. Well, made a mistake there. Never mind. Let's try it again. Maybe I will go with option 2 this time. Maybe we will blow up the walkers. There you go, it can happen. No, I don't think I'm happy with that at all. So let's see how we do if we shoot the damn things. Rosita's probably the one to go for. Okay, let's quickly try that again. And that's just, it's easy to do. Again, these sort of crunched up Maps. Oh yeah, Rosita and Rosita. You know, this isn't particularly far in, but it's just, yeah, you can get surprised by those walkers. I honestly just didn't see that one there. Made that mistake. Anyone can do it. And there we go. First kill doesn't do it. I would like for Rosita to be charged. As in, shooty Rosita. Ta-da! There we go. Yeah, so just... It's one of those things. It's... Sometimes you can just make a silly mistake. It just happens. Obviously, just retry. If it's something where it's not maybe necessarily just a mistake where you can go, oh yeah, I see what I did there, I'll just be sure not to do that again, then you've got to start thinking about changing the strategy. Look at that, weren't lucky at all. Had to search every single one of them. Of course, there's 2 exits, one at the top, one at the bottom. You don't have to feel like you have to go for one in particular. You don't have to get trapped going for the one at the top or the one at the bottom. But yeah, I guess the message of the story is protect your scouts. Kind of glass cannons, and I just didn't do that, so... What's next? I think we're on to the last one for this weekly challenge. Bloody concrete, find the loot and get out. Shocker. Do we want to go back to where we were? Now, I kind of like the idea of this weird Rosita sandwich that's going on with Glenn. I think... Go on, dress yourself up, mate. I mean, she is a very good, she is very good assault class. Rosita, her leadership skill, very, very handy. And again, I guess, actually, come to think of it, really quite handy for this particular mission. In fact, having something like this particular weapon, being able to slow the walkers down. I think I've left Rosita in, yeah, in potentially a bad position. Don't know what's up with me today, but yeah, so Rosita actually kind of makes a good companion to Fighter Rosita as the leader, because of course she can hit, if she hits multiple targets, she gets to move again. And these kinds of maps, having those big mobility advantages, quite a big boon. Let's go up here. Wow, didn't kill him. Do that. Again, so many mobility options with Glenn. It's just crazy. Being able to do stuff like that just makes these particular missions just go by a lot quicker. Obviously, he's got the sawtooth blade. It's got swift strike, so that's why he can make, you know, he can make a kill and then... Well, I mean, it's yeah, he can make a kill and then do stuff again. And of course, Lucky Dumpster means that he can search something and still do things, still have an action. So, always a really good combo. Okay, so I think that that's everything. I think that we would be going back into the dungeon if we continued. There's... Yeah, there really is... You know, this is a case of where luck does actually count for a little bit. So if you do struggle, just try again. you might get lucky. I think Glenn is a really pretty obvious take on this. And it's weird how Fighter Rosita and Assault Rosita work well together. You know, you have those additional movement options and things. If you do have any dramas with any particular mission, then just say, I'm sure somebody will have a tip that will help you breeze through it. But for the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.